Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. Freedom is coming. Freedom is coming. Oh, yes, I know. 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 Oh, yes, I know.
And uplifting, and thank
Thank
you.
you. Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Las Cruces. We welcome those of you who are in our sanctuary this morning, or joining us online. It's a joy to be together in worship. I'm Elvira Mason, one of your 4 delegates to the Unitarian Universalist Association's General Assembly this June. We are all participating in this service. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a 66-year-old, average height, short brown-haired, white woman wearing a black dress with beaded daisies sewn into it. And I'm wearing earrings today that are clattering the mic, and I apologize. But these are made out of the shoes of my Barbie dolls from when I was a little girl. And a lovely young jewelry maker at the NMSU Jewelry Program made them to extras for me, and they bring me joy. So when you hear the clatter, it's just a virus feeling joyful. Okay. So welcome to our guests. Whether this is your first visit or your 100th, you are part of this beloved community. Whoever you are, however you love, wherever you're from. Whatever your life circumstances, gender identity, sexual orientation, disability, documentation status, or spiritual path, you fit in here. You belong here. Your story matters, and your presence is a gift. If you're new or still finding your way, we'd love to connect. Online friends, say hello in the chat. If you're here in person, feel free to raise your hand so we can bring the mic to you. We'd love to learn and where you're joining us from. So I have the microphone. Are there any visitors here today?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Randy. This is my hubby, David. Lives in California at the UUCLC, Church of the Desert in Garage. Just visiting.
Anyone else here today? Over there. Absolutely. Very good. Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Kathy Pearsall, and I live here from Oklahoma. And my previous church was also Unitarian in Tulsa. And I think there's some staff or clergy connections, if I'm not mistaken, but very glad to form a fellowship here. Anyone else? Do we have anyone online? Okay, we're very pleased that you have joined us today for our service. Please fill in a visitor's card and place it in the offertory basket when those come around, or give it to a greeter in the lobby, or send us your email so we can invite you to other services and activities in your church. If you didn't feel like introducing yourself to us today, curious about our congregation, don't worry. Just complete and turn in a visitor's card, and you'll receive the same invitations. And make sure you let one of the greeters know that our visitors will wait for you. If you have additional questions, join us in the lobby by the pamphlet rack after the service. As we enter into this time of worship, going into the joy, music, and movement of this multi-generational space. Now, in the spirit of love and connection, turn to your neighbor. Share a warm greeting. You have 45 seconds.
That was very unobtrusive. That was perfect. Yeah. 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 That's,
Say hi to you, Pat. Okay, now you do my dog. You can see him. Oh, sorry. You need to call me today. Yeah, right.
maybe that's just okay. So it's not on their fans. It's on their phone.
I don't know the children. Okay, everybody. Will, yeah, we're stuck at 1 second, right? We'll have time for more conversation when we have our coffee after the service. Make sure you join us down the breezeway for coffee.
This is really why we come to church, isn't it? I love this. Okay, yay. Doesn't it feel good? I mean, yeah, it feels great. I'm going to read to you from Barbara Wells just now. O spinner, weaver of our lives, your loom is love. May we who are gathered here be empowered by that love to weave new patterns of truth and justice into a web of life that is strong, beautiful, and everlasting.
Good morning, church. I am Eric Ramirez. I serve as the director of music for this church, and I am a 5'9" brown Puerto Rican gay man. Shane says hello. Shane is my husband for visitors. Yeah, he sent a bunch of stuff for the food drive today, so if you haven't done it, do it, okay? My pronouns are he, him, and Eric. It's not really a pronoun, but you can call me Eric. I'm wearing a short sleeve white, very soft shirt with blue flowers on it, with black pants and black shoes and piano socks. Today I smell of sandalwood and vanilla. Would you please rise in body or spirit with me as we sing our gathering hymn, Morning Has Broken.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ed Long. My pronouns are he and him. I am a white male with short gray hair, medium in height, and moderately obese. Telling the truth. Today I am wearing brown jeans and a blue pullover shirt, and I do wear glasses. Our chalice lighting this morning is from the words of Tracy Bleakney. This chalice burns with twin flames. The first flame burns for those who seek and defend the right to a free and responsible search for truth and meaning, so that each person may live according to conscience in a democratically elected society. The second flame burns for the defenders of freedom, working against those who would impose their own religious beliefs on others through intimidation or legislation. May we tend this fire always, ever vigilant and courageous in the struggle for freedom and justice for all. And now, if you want to stand as you're willing and able, or stand with body and spirit and all that stuff, we are going to read our affirmation, and then it'll be followed by the doxology in both English and Spanish. Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve others in community, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with creation. Thus do we covenant with one another.
Wait, can you hear me? Good morning, church. Good morning, Kelly. It always feels kind of silly to then introduce myself as Kelly Ingram because you've all just said my name. But I am Kelly Ingram, and I am your Director of Religious Education. My pronouns are she, her. I am a shorter, 5'3", mixed race woman with brown skin and curly black and silver hair that I am wearing down today. I have on my black and silver glasses. I am wearing my pink UUCLC t-shirt, Love is Our Doctrine. And I think that's it. Yes, shorts. I have on shorts today. I threw in a little black in there, you know. Okay, gray. Thank you from the audience. This morning's wisdom story is actually a really awesome video created by UU ministers Dana Edwards, and my apologies, Dana's name should have a Y in it after the first A. Dana Edwards and Minister Caitlin Carter Coylberg. This video was shown as the Time for All Ages at the opening worship for General Assembly. And it encourages us, if not reminds us, that we all carry what we need when we do indeed meet those moments. The tiniest UU church.
Now, I don't know that it happened this way, but I do know that it's true, that long ago and far away, or maybe very recently and quite nearby, there was a very small congregation. In fact, it was the tiniest UU congregation in the whole wide world, and it was right here in Maryland. They called themselves the tiniest UU Church of Maryland, or TUUCM for short. Like many UU faith communities, they got together for a lot of meetings. One meeting early this year, Elphaba said, "I'm not in the mood for committee work today. Everything seems so very hopeless out there." "Yeah," said Gaby 8. "The world seems to be crumbling around us. What's the point of even being here?" Jet Pig sighed. It is really hard to find hope in these difficult times. But when you say hope, you might be thinking of dolphins or rainbows and butterflies. And while those things are pretty, that's not where real hope is found. Hope is not a saccharine, tidy experience. Hope is gritty and tear-stained, found in the dirty fingernails of a farmer planting a seed, even though there was a drought last year. Present in the weary gait and work-worn boots of a parent who is coming home from their second job to make sure their child can go to school with a full belly. Among the flowers we put on the windowsill of a beloved who is ill and may never see another spring. In each breath of those screaming and pleading in righteous anger for a ceasefire. Hope is desperate, grasping and raspy, tenacious and stubborn, undaunted and courageous. And as the Reverend Mermaid always says, hope is you and you and you and you. Hold it in your heart as an act of resistance to those who would try to steal it from you. The members of the tiniest congregation thought long and hard. What could they do? They focused on the youngest and most vulnerable among them. They built trust and understanding, had quiet moments of prayer and meditation, and learned from their part-time minister, Reverend Mermaid, about Unitarian Universalist tradition and theology. They got outside for adventures together, shared their feelings and struggles with each other, made phone calls, and wrote letters to elected officials. They went to protests, marches, and organized trainings, and they made sure to pause and smell the flowers, even when they didn't really want to. With everything they did, they centered themselves in love, living out their values of justice, equity, transformation, interdependence, generosity, and pluralism. Wherever they went, they talked about hope, and together they kept moving forward. Because though they are small, the very tiniest, they know they are not alone. The end.
And now our wonderful choir will lead us in 2 rounds of the children's blessing, and any present youths can follow me out of these doors after the first round. Thank you.
Jesus, my pronouns are she, her, and ella. I am a light-skinned Mexican-American woman of above average height, medium heavy build, with long wavy brown hair, with some gray coming in from the sides, and I am wearing my purple t-shirt with the UUGA 2025 logo emblazoned boldly in the front. So we're gonna do the community joys and sorrows. As we enter this quiet moment together, I invite you to pause, take a steady, gentle breath in and out. Let your breath anchor you here and now in this circle of care. This is a time to honor the fullness of life, the joys that lift our hearts, the sorrows that weigh heavily, the questions we carry quietly inside. Whatever you bring this morning, know this: you are not alone. You are held here. In our community, we hold the Bagby family. Susan Bagby shares this joy. Dick died on Wednesday in hospice. Dick expressed that he was happy with his life and felt he lived a good life. We hold his passing as a joy because Dick held his life in joy. The Bagby family will joyfully accept cards at their Las Cruces address. We hold Clayton Flowers in our hearts as he recovers from illness. He is feeling physically weak right now, and out of caution for his health, his visits are limited. You may send a card to him at his home. It will be appreciated. We also hold the Pearson family in our hearts. I actually just got word that Haney is leaving the hospital today, so this has turned into a joy. We're very happy to hear that news. Lastly, we hold Hale Huber in our hearts and cheer his recovery. He is doing well after his surgery, and he will stay a little longer in Arizona to recover. He can be reached by phone if you'd like to catch up with him. In the wider world, we hold those who journey through grief and uncertainty. Federal workers facing job loss and instability, immigrants seeking safety, trans and non-binary beloveds, women, and people of color, those living with illness or disability confronting injustice. We hold up all who live under the shadow of war, occupation, and violence. May peace, however fragile, find a way. We honor their courage and we carry them in love. In this gathered community, we take a sacred pause to share what rests in our hearts. This time is set apart for lifting up our joys, honoring our sorrows, and marking the milestones of our lives. It is not a space for announcements, but for the truths that move within us. Are there any joys, sorrows, or milestones among us this morning? You are invited to raise your hand, and I will bring the microphone to you. You may share what you have in your heart, and then Jan will drop a stone in the water for you. May the ripples remind us that what we carry is never ours alone. Are there any joys or sorrows? Okay. Hello? Okay. All right.
Good morning. I'm Jennifer Trantham. And my joy this morning, very personal, but I spend so much time making safe decisions in my life. Sometimes we go outside of our comfort zone, and I had the joy and privilege of spending 2 days spontaneously in Rio Doso with my sister and my mother. It was a very last-minute decision, and my father supported that, which was wonderful.
Thank you for sharing that.
Hi, I'm Rabbit Loring. Last week, Sarah shared that my first great-grandchild was born. His name is Teddy. He's wonderful, and I have pictures.
Oh my gosh, another Teddy. Yay. Any others? No? Okay. Hope I didn't miss anyone. As we close, we offer this final stone for all the unspoken prayers that live in our hearts. Joys and sorrows, griefs, milestones, and gratitude held tenderly by this community.
I'd like to offer these words of meditation from Jakob Trapp. If it is language that makes us human, half of language is to listen. Silence can exist without speech, but speech cannot live without silence. Listen to the speech of others. Listen even more to their silence. To pray is to listen, to the revelations of nature, to the meaning of events. To listen to music is to listen also to silence and to find the stillness deepened and enriched.
As we gather in the sacred space, we are invited to invest in our church's mission and shared life. The offering we take today and every Sunday is more than financial support. It is a reflection of our commitment to this community and the values we strive to live out: love, justice, welcome, and care. Our church depends on each of us. Your generosity sustains our worship, programs, partnerships, and our ability to grow in faith and service. Whether you make a one-time gift, support today's Change for Change partner, or fulfill your annual pledge, every contribution helps strengthen our community and extend our reach. This quarter, our Change for Change partner is KTAL LP Community Radio. Since 2017, KTAL has brought diverse music, culture, education, and local issues to the airwaves. Learn more at lccommunityradio.org. Through this partnership, we carry our values beyond these walls. You can give online, by mail, or by placing your gift in the basket. Every gift matters, and every gift makes a difference. The offering will now be given and gratefully received.
The reading this morning, "'Twas the Night After GA," was written by the Reverend Dr. Kimmy Floyd Reich, and it was written this year. It will use some names that don't have much meaning for you, but it does have much meaning for those of us who attended the General Assembly. So I apologize for the unfamiliarity with some of the names. "'Twas the night after GA, and all through the halls, the echoes of I know I'm short. The echoes of justice still clung to the walls. The banners were folded, the ribbons unpinned, the warmth of connection still stirred in the wind. We showed up in Baltimore, bold and alive. Some tuned in from couches with Zoom Wova vibes. There were signs in the streets and movement online, folks sharing their stories, both poignant and fine. Some danced by the harbor with joy and with pride, while others found spirit from deep down inside. We wore t-shirts with slogans, wore sneakers with sass, took selfies with speakers, gave motions a pass. Sophia preached love with a call to be bold. Then Amara's bright, fiery passion broke every mold. Liz named the poor as prophets and seers and called us to action through heartbreak and tears. Gloria spoke truth that rang clear as a bell of law and of power and stories we tell. Then Deepak reminded us justice is care, that movements are strongest when burdens are shared. Some wore top hats, some had jet pigs in tow, some napped through the keynotes, all tucked in a row. We found holy moments in stairwells and halls, in whispers and singing, in quiet phone calls. We belted out hymns of our grandmother's might while ancestors danced in the shadows of night. Ministers rushed with 3 coffees in tow, and prophets kept dropping deep truth on the go. Whether hugging in person or waving on screens, we were part of the magic in all the betweens. So take what you gathered, the joy, grace, and songs, the side eyes, the hope, what felt right, what felt wrong. We'll carry it forward in covenant deep with faith that wakes justice and dreams that don't sleep. GA has ended, but we've just begun to meet the next moment together as one.
So, although I have been a Unitarian Universalist the entirety of my life, born into the faith, I'd never been to the annual General Assembly gathering. But when Jan Thompson sent out an email saying that she was looking for a roommate, I was in. This year's GA was a celebration of the 200th anniversary of the American Unitarian Association, and more than 3,270 some Unitarian Universalists from 592 congregations in 48 states and 4 countries participated, either online or in person. It was held in Baltimore, Maryland, the site of the Reverend William Ellery Channing's Baltimore sermon of 1819, in which he claimed what had been the slur Unitarian as a label to be embraced. According to the UUA, in the 90 minutes of what's commonly called the Baltimore sermon, Channing laid out the tenets of the new faith, the unity of God in contrast to the idea of a Trinity, the use of reason in understanding religion and interpreting the Bible, a concept of Jesus as human rather than a divine human, and a rejection of Calvinism's idea of depraved humanity, where salvation is reserved for a select few. This year's theme was Meet the Moment, and this is a framework for Unitarian Universalists to engage in big picture conversations about how we can harness our courage, grow our skills, and ground ourselves in our values to show up most impactfully in these unprecedented times. No matter what issue is being addressed, the Meet the Moment framework begins with 3 grounding questions. What is the moment we are in. What are the most urgent needs and important opportunities of this moment? And how do our UU values call us to respond to this moment? For many of us, the immediate moment was the Supreme Court decision in the Scrimeti case, which denies minors the rights to gender-affirming care. The UUA quickly provided trans civil rights lawyer Sam Ames and UUA General Counsel Adrian Walker to talk about this fight, about what's next, and encouraged us all to read Justice Sotomayor's dissent, saying that the dissents in many groundbreaking cases will later become the law of the land. I went to many different sessions focusing on all kinds of issues. I attended the general sessions too. My co-delegates will be talking about these. Some highlights were the global worship ceremony, this year also celebrating the 200th anniversary of the founding of our Unitarian Association and the British Unitarian Association. And there were representatives from as far away as Romania and India in attendance. Jan and I attended also the Service of the Living Tradition, where tributes to religious leaders who are no longer among us through retirement or death are celebrated. We cheered loudly when Catherine Massey's retirement was recognized. A highlight also was the Ware Lecture, in which Imara Jones, a former White House advisor in the Obama administration and the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning creator of Translash Media, a cross-platform journalism, personal storytelling, and narrative project which produces content to shift the current culture of hostility towards transgender people in the United States, spoke. This is the most prestigious lecture that's given at the GA each year. She detailed the deeply researched and heavily funded strategies used by the white Christian right to use transgender rights as a leading issue to begin the dismantling of democracy. She concluded with the words, "There is no way to save democracy without standing up for trans rights." Along the way, Jan and I met with UUs from Los Alamos and Albuquerque. We had to go all the way to Baltimore to meet. And of course, UUs from all over the place. All of the general worship services were joy-filled with music and a phenomenal choir. It was a time of renewal and community and faith building. And I'd just like to leave you with what was, for me, the outstanding quote of the whole assembly, which was given by the Reverend Sean Neil Barron of Foothills Unitarian in Fort Collins, Colorado. He says, "What got us here, where we are today, is not what will move us forward to where we want to be in the future." Thank you.
The first General Assembly I attended was in 2006. Linda and I had gotten married the previous month, and GA was our honeymoon. I know, how romantic, right? This year there were various options as to how to attend, and Jan and Elvira attended in person. I attended online, but only the business sessions. I was an online delegate, so I didn't get the full experience. But two items of business I wanted to highlight today was the election of our moderator, which is that is part of our business this year. The role of the moderator in the UUA, it's the highest level volunteer position other than being on the Board of Trustees. The moderators are not just people who run the General Assembly every year. They work throughout the year, helping to shape and hold the vision of the UUA while working closely with the board and the executive staff and ultimately our member congregations. The moderators also work to encourage and support leaders, congregations, and covenanting communities in our faith, as well as partner organizations in feeling fully heard and represented in our decision-making process. This year, two co-moderators were elected to a 6-year term, the Reverend Kimberly Quinn Johnson and Bill Young. And they did have an interview, and part of the interview they did mention that they both want to work on better connecting and supporting smaller congregations. The other item of business I'm going to talk about were the actions of immediate witness. These are proposals for issues that are current and requiring immediate action. A UUA committee reviews all the submissions, and 3 of them are selected to be voted on by the delegates of the GA. This year, all 3 actions were approved by the required 2/3 of the delegates. The intent of these actions is to empower congregations to take action and to help focus the organization's attention and resources on specific social justice causes. So there were 3 of them approved. The first one was the faithful defiance of authoritarianism. I like that. Reaffirming our covenant for democracy and freedom. In a time when the soul of democracy is under siege, UU should rise with a flame kindled not only in protest and defiance, but in covenantal love and sacred resolve. Recognizing the current threats to justice, equity, and democratic institutions, and the rule of law, from authoritarian abuses to systemic oppression, the resolution calls on us to transcend isolation, strengthen our alliances, uphold civil society through peaceful, principled resistance. It urges UUs to engage nationally and locally with movements for justice, inclusion, and democratic renewal, framing this moment as both a moral trial and a sacred opportunity to co-create with a radically inclusive, beloved community. The second action of immediate witness was we declare that immigrants are people who have inherent worth and inalienable, I choke up when I talk about this, inalienable rights. UUs affirm the inherent worth and inalienable rights of all people, including immigrants, and are called by faith to uphold justice, dignity, and compassion. Recent authoritarian actions in the U.S., such as mass deportations, family separations, and the erosion of due process, represent moral and democratic failures that demand a bold and faithful response. In light of these injustices, we should commit to personal, congregational, and advocacy actions, including public witness, community partnerships, and legislative engagement. The third action of immediate witness was defending LGBTIQ freedom amid funding crisis, a call for global solidarity. Our UU principles affirm the dignity of every person, justice and compassion in human relations, and the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. Our UU faith calls us to recognize that all bodies are sacred and that each person is endowed with the divine gifts of agency, conscience, and self-determination regardless of gender identity or sexual orientation. All of these actions of immediate witness that I've mentioned call for actions by individuals and congregations, and we'll be talking more about that later.
I simply want to introduce the anthem. You've heard it before. Just remember, our love makes it so that we walk in the light.
Siaha, beku kanye
That is one of my favorite hymns. Okay, buenos dias, amigas and amigos. My name is Jan, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and ella. I am an old, short, white, though tanned, lesbian with very short graying hair, and I wear glasses and hearing aids. Today I am wearing a reddish or pinkish or plum print top with black slacks and a UU necklace of flaming chalices of various designs and chalice earrings. I have attended many General Assemblies and love them because they demonstrate how to live our UU values. It comes closest to being what I and we at UUCLC could be. Out of respect for your time, I'd cut a lot. Because I get so pumped up when I go to GA, and there's so much I want to share, but I won't put you through that. So I will give only one example of living our UU values. GA demonstrates living our values when the voices of traditionally marginalized people are centered. At GA, those who identify as having a marginalized identity, BIPOC, LGBTQIA+, indifferently abled, etc., are given the opportunity to be heard first when an issue is being discussed. It makes a difference, and it makes me proud to be a UU. This year, there were 3 proposed CSAIs. We use a lot of initials at GA. That means Congregational Study Action Issues. And we had to vote to select just one to study for the next 3 years. I liked all of the proposals and would have been happy to study any of them. The 2 that were not selected were fat liberation, and I'd love to talk about that, and housing. Well, initially, I planned to vote for the housing proposal because it is a big issue in Las Cruces, and there's been much discussion about it here. However, after becoming more familiar with the 3rd CSAI proposal on abolition, transformation, and faith formation, that was finally selected, I realized that housing issues were included in it. That made me vote for that one, and it did get selected. Besides, the proposal came from the Church of the Larger Fellowship, of which I am a member, as well as a member here. And I am a volunteer pen pal with an incarcerated member of CLF. The Church of the Larger Fellowship has nearly 2,000 incarcerated Unitarian Universalists who participate in the Worthy Now prison ministry program, both in prisons and in immigration detention centers. I'd love to talk with you about the program, but not now. Believe me, I will talk to you about it later. What does abolition mean in the context of this CSAI? It means learning to stop relying on punishment to address crime, criminals, and even our interpersonal conflicts with others. It means leading with love. It means closing down prisons and detention centers. Look, we know that locking people up for long periods of time is not the answer to crime. The CSAI on abolition calls for restorative justice in place of the current punitive approach. We can and must do better. Our UU values demand it. I promise that you will hear much, much more about this subject in the course of the next 3 years. This is just an introduction. And I sincerely hope that each of you will have the awesome experience of attending at least one GA. It will bring your values to life.
So this year was my first time attending UUGA. I was a virtual delegate, so I was not in Baltimore, but I was able to participate through, they've made pretty much everything available online. For those of you who do know me, you know I'm relatively new to this church, so I was honored and thrilled to be able to participate this year. And although, like I said, I was unable to attend in person, the UUGA organizers did an excellent job of ensuring that virtual attendees were able to fully participate. They created opportunities for engagement in the form of chats, forums. There was a participant directory. You could reach out to individuals that were participating. They also were inclusive through their use of language. They had live language interpreters, visual descriptions, usage of pronouns, etc. And another way they helped us be able to participate was they would create breakout rooms so that we could talk to amongst ourselves as virtual delegates. One of the most memorable and impactful parts of the UUGA for me personally was the Meet the Moment Wave cohort. So what they are is there are several Meet the Moment topics which Elvira presented to us, and basically you chose a wave and you just participated throughout the conference. I want to quote this year's Meet the Moment statement directly because I thought it was very applicable. Our Unitarian Universalist values have always pushed our people to show up, to risk, to struggle for justice and liberation, and radically inclusive communities centered in love. The heart of our faith transcends cultural shifts and political trends. But at key moments throughout the centuries, our religious ancestors have also always been willing to transform themselves and their faith to meet the needs of the moment, to let go of what no longer serves, to open to new possibilities, to seize opportunities and lean into aspiration and innovation. At our best, Unitarian Universalists are both deeply grounded in our core values and shared commitments, but also nimble enough to respond to the challenges and opportunities that emerge in rapidly changing times. Meet the Moment is a movement-wide framework helping Unitarian Universalists analyze, discern, and take values-based action in response to today's religious, cultural, generational, and political realities. And Elvira already told us the 3 questions, but I do want to pose them again because I think it's important for us to consider individually and as a congregation what Meet the Moment means. What is the moment that we are in today? What are the most urgent and important needs of this moment? And what do our UU values call us to do in response to this moment? Part of what is wonderful about the Meet the Moment dialogues is that they continue throughout the year and are open to all UUs. I invite anyone who is interested to sign up for the Fall 2025 WAVE cohort. There are 2 introductory webinars coming up on September 23rd and on October 21st. You may simply search for UUA Meet the Moment to find more information on the UUA website, or you may approach me directly after the service, and I am happy to share more information and share any links so that you can sign up directly. Most important of all is to bring our learning back to our church and to share it with the congregation so that we too, in our local community, can meet the moment. Thank you.
Well, church, are you excited? I don't feel it. I don't believe you. Are you excited? Good. These delegates brought back great stuff from the GA. And we're going to sing. I call it, I don't know if I offend or affirm. I say this is the UU rah-rah song. Would you rise in body or spirit with me as we sing our closing hymn, We'll Build a Land, number 120.
Good morning, church. My name's Rich Richens. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. I occasionally do some music around here. I participate now in the membership committee and on the comm. And it's my privilege today to share a couple of announcements with you. Here at the Unitarian Universalist Church of Las Cruces, our announcements are more than updates. They are invitations to engage. Each one is an opportunity to connect, to show up, and to put our values into action. Together, we can grow in community, deepen our faith, and make a real difference. So, with that in mind, One of the ways we make a difference is we put ourselves out into the community and share ourselves. How many of you have ordered UUCLC t-shirts? Have you got them yet? They're right outside. So, Sarah's sitting at the table back there at the conclusion of today's service. Please pick up your t-shirt. One correction to an earlier announcement, Rev Ali informed me that Haney is not necessarily leaving the hospital today, but within the next few days. So we wanted to make sure that was clear. This Thursday, September 18th from 6:30 to 8 is our Death Cafe. Brooks leads this. It's an opportunity to share and to listen about your thoughts, concepts about the subject of death. If you have any questions, give Brooks a quick email. I should also point out that I'm the guy taking photos of a lot of you for this 70th anniversary photo directory. If you have not yet had your picture taken and are willing to do it, find me at the conclusion of the service and I'll take your picture. We'll get you in. The idea is to have this out by about next Tuesday or Wednesday. There will be continuous updates, but you want to try to get into this first version. Our 70th anniversary celebration is coming up on Saturday, September 20th. We're going to have food, fun, music, memories. It's going to be a really good time, and we really hope that all of you will come and participate in this. RSVPs are expected. If you should have all gotten an e-vite by email. So if you haven't yet done so, please RSVP. Also, there is a new UU course beginning on Sundays for 4 sessions from 11:30 to 1:30 p.m. So following our service, give you enough time to get a cup of coffee. You want to contact the church office to register. Find out a little bit how this place works. Roundtable is returning September 22nd. Our roundtable is back. Our first speaker is Bill McCamley. He's going to talk about Project 2025, the MAGA game plan, where you lose. So please make it an opportunity in your schedule to attend this really valuable program. Roundtable was a mainstay in this church for years and years and years, and it's really neat to have it come back at a time and a day that should work for everybody. Pride celebration is coming up. It's October 4th. We celebrate Las Cruces Pride, and this church has done it with distinction for many, many years. We were, I think, I'm pretty sure we were the first church to participate and march in the local city pride parade. We have a big booth presence. I'm pretty sure the NMSUUs are going to be at the booth. We do these temporary transfer tattoos. They're really fun. How many of you have had one of these at some point in time? I've probably had 20 of them. And I've probably put on hundreds of them. So it's a really great day. It's a very positive day. When we march downtown, I feel just joy and happiness to do that. And finally, to mention something about tents for rents. It was mentioned that housing is an important part of the decision that we opted for our 3-year study. And we participate in one respect by supporting our Tents for Rents program. When the Community of Hope was set up, they wanted to be able to have a place that people could come put a tent if and when they needed to. And I love to camp. I mean, I love putting up the tent, but I don't want to live in one for 4 months. So this is a program that gets people from their tents into a better housing situation. If you can, please consider donating to a really, really worthwhile program. I think that's it for me. Thank you.
And I noticed that Reverend Ali is here this morning. Elvira and I had an opportunity to have breakfast with him at General Assembly. It's one of the advantages of going in person. You see people, not just from New Mexico, as Elvira pointed out, but we were... we got to see him before you. Ha ha. These words for our benediction are by John Shar. The future is not some place we are going, but one we are creating. The paths are not to be found, but made. And the activity of making them changes both the maker and their destination. Please join me in extinguishing our flame. The words are on the monitor. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Go in peace.